fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Check it, yo. I always be analyzing to see who's fake. People acting Janice, running around two-faced, talking behind my back until they put in their place. You're a 2-course meal without saying grace on the internet. Talking shit through your fingertips, talking high power till your shine is eclipsed. Trying to ride a wave until your mind is seasick. Cement shoes and your ankles tied with 3 bricks. This isn't Grand Theft Auto, this is real life. I will piss on your grave and throw dick to your wife. This is a warning mixed with some advice. You might be king, but I'm the ace of spades, and you just renade. This is food for thought, bitch, eat a grenade. This is what people want, this be treated like dirt. I tried being humble, but that was absurd. All the brainless pigeons flock together like birds, pecking for crumbs until they merge with the crossroads and chuck the demi-urge. I think they had enough, I took the trash to the curb. Let the torture begin and watch them burn. Here's the urn.
It's hard to keep it real with fake people. They can take love, mix it with hate, and make evil. I'm staring at 50 shades of gray people. It's a grand deception, like K-Reno. They are who they say they isn't. On the internet, spreading everybody's business through a troll account. Talking foul, not knowing what goes around comes around. The flat out truth is the energy change when I come around. I guess London Bridge is falling down. Hey people, stall him out. We know all about the narrative painting. To control the clout, they gatekeepers trying to stop the ones trying to awake people. HOTC.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion, and if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on a pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, assault in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. No longer I have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
In the instant, I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, ripping endless on instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally those that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible, calling audibles. I'm remarkable, I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot them holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple, let's raise the temple. Make them triple while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek the injure. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in her. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Caught back to Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rocking my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions, emerging, emerging. I pull back the iron curtain. War leaders are war eaters, born cheaters, war sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper, form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments, ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan, rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa and the hands of Wolverine, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. While the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed, and an angel swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain.
Say my name in vain and you will never
But
bleed.
is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
Sir Drop destroyed that verse. And so did Hurricane. And so did that other guy in the beginning. What was his name? Chuckles? What's up, Dean? Can't touch his. No. So, what the fuck is going on? If you're living in the world today, I guess you're fucked, and that's what I gotta say. Broski. According to the chronological timeline, crikey, mate.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing, Dean?
Not too bad.
I'm just smoking a bowl of this fine Buddha funk.
Oh, good on you. I haven't actually risen it. Oh, yes, I have. I got her out of bed long enough to get some food done for the puppy.
So,
But yeah, you know, you're talking how long have we got in this bloody world? How long have we got here? How long do we have to put up with this shit? How long? According to the
The
chronological
question
timeline
is,
of
why do
Jason,
we put up with it? That's the real
well,
question.
why do
Why
we?
do we put up with it?
I think the reason is the reason that it's still being put up with is that most people don't know it's actually fucking happening.
True. Isn't that crazy that people are that blind?
Well, it is. It seems like, why the bloody hell can't their eyes see it? But when you've got a life of luxury, when you've got a life of comfort, when you've got
True, you don't
all
want to
these
give that
things
up.
that you need,
Yeah.
and you've got the money to cover your desires, of course you're not going to see it. Of course you're not going to see it.
You don't want to see it. They ain't even thinking about it.
Well, it's the
That's a good
further it
point.
is from your mind.
You know, and I completely get it. You know, I completely understand where people are coming from, and you know, but sometimes in life, my saying is, you got to take a few steps back to reroute and move forward. Sometimes in life, and I think if we can't do that, we're already going down a steep slope. Fucking this technology, yeah, I know it could be used for good, but is it? No, it's not.
Okay, well let me put it to you like a little bit of like I wrote a thing out. You know how when I write bloody stuff on people's chats, I usually bloody write a book.
No, go ahead. You got the floor, Dean. Go ahead.
Maureen always says to me that you write a book. Why is it you have to spend so much time writing a reply? And the thing is that I like to explain how I come to my conclusions and what I believe my opinion would be, right? So sometimes a few words, like you go into a place like a platform like Twitter, for example, they've only got a few digits. When you're in chat in YouTube, you've only got a few digits to explain what you're trying to say. But when you go and write in the chat after the video, after the fact, you can write a bloody book. You can write a story, right? And so that's what I tend to do. I tend to watch the video, get an understanding of what's going on, and then I give my opinion. Now, I gave my opinion yesterday on the subject of woolly mammoths in the Arctic Circle still having food in their mouths, chewing food in their mouths and swallowing the food down their gullet. And they died instantaneously. These animals didn't die and decompose. If they decomposed, they wouldn't even have the food in their mouth. But these mammoths, these woolly mammoths, and were found in the Arctic Circle, snap frozen. You could almost say they were snap frozen. Now, what kind of energy can do that kind of thing to an elephant?
Frequency.
What?
Everything here is frequency, and these people, with their what we call technology, have mastered the frequencies. They're literally tapping.
I don't think that. I don't think that these mammoths were actually buried in ice. I actually think they were buried in water. They were the water covered them, and the coldness of the water was so cold that it froze them.
Well, either way, it has to do with frequency.
It may have done. It may have done. I mean, I'm still at odds as to what would cause a phoenix, a volcano event, right? I mean, is it manipulated, or is it a phenomena that has a purpose? You know, is it manipulated for nefarious reasons or beneficial reasons? It's an interesting thing. I mean, if an elephant can be snap frozen with food in its mouth, you know, that's, I mean, it has to be, to me, it has to be something to do with ice. But it's an interesting thing that on Jason Brashear's latest live about the sky falling, right?
Yeah.
The sky falling. What was in the sky falling?
The dome. The dome is breaking apart.
Hang on, Chuck. What else? What did they call? Why did the Gauls? Remember Asterix the Gauls? Why did their king, their chief, always say, "Beware of the sky is going to fall"? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you had Henny Penny. Was it little Henny Penny? It said the sky is falling. Right?
I don't know. I have too many questions for this place. You know, like.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting thing. I mean, let me ramble on a bit here. But you know, we're talking about there's lots of things like giants and the bean. Was it Jack and the Beanstalk? You know, these little stories that give us a little bit of history. Well, even an insight into the history that may have been here at one time, right? And so when you've got these little like stories like Asterix the Gaul, fearing the sky falling on his head, Henny Penny, talking about the sky falling, there's got to be some kind of happening that happened that made that story, you know, become a fascination. The fascination with the fact that there was something to do with sky falling on the head. Now, Jason Brashears, I know you know of him, and I'm sure many other listeners will also know of him.
I've never heard of him till just now. I'll look him up, though.
Jason Brashears does the channel Archaic, right?
Archaic?
Yeah, Archaic.
I was just watching Autodidactic.
Okay, well, Archaic then Autodidactic did a thing together. I'm pretty sure that Jason Brashears from Archaics and Autodidactic did a video together. I know that Archaics has done a live with Martin Luther, and Martin Luther and Autodidactic, Campbell from Autodidactic, both went to America and met up with Jason, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that this guy Jason is actually putting together the chronological timelines that show that there is an Armageddon, that the Bible is correct, that Armageddon and the end of the world is a real thing, right?
I personally think these people create that shit.
Well, that might be a possibility, Chuck. I dropped that idea, when I
We
gave
live
my
in this
reply.
genetic factory. We live in like a wizard's testing ground. We're the Frankenstein, and the people in power are the fucking scientists.
Yeah,
We're
I
genetic.
understand where you're going, and I fully get that. I think that I too have a deep belief, not say deep belief, but a deep thinking in the line that we are podcast from the results of what you sort of call a petri dish experiment, if you want to call it that, right? There's a lot of people in this world, like I say, who have money. They have their desires met. And so they don't have the need to feel any kind of rejection, any kind of suffering. They don't feel that there might be some tyrannical force out there trying to control people. But for the likes of people who are suffering, for the likes of people who have nothing, who do suffer, and I mean, there's heaps of people out there today that saying you can make anything of your life. You could be anything or any desire you want to be. And I feel that there is a lot of merit in that. There's a lot of merit in that. I mean, I feel myself that I have done a lot of things that had I put a brake or some kind of handbrake on myself and believed that I was not a powerful being in some way, I might never have achieved some of the things that I have in my life. But the thing is, if you take into account, there are two sides to this coin, and one is those that have, and the other is those that have not. And without the have-nots, all the haves wouldn't even have it. So that's a principle going on there right away. You can't escape it. You either have it or you don't. And there are many people today in this world who have gone through suffering. Some are still going through it. We have got wars going on where people are sleeping in their beds, and next thing they're drop dead. They're just dead. They're just killed. The bomb landed right on their fucking bedroom. They didn't even get a chance to know what it was that took them out. You've got situations where bombs are being dropped at the moment, and it's just like, fucking, why would you want to in this world when there are needs and desires being met with the world resource pyramid scheme every day? Every day, people are out sourcing resources. Every day, resources hit the market. Every day, those resources are being bought by the desires of people, the consumer. And every day, those people are going about their lives unbeknownst of any kind of suffering, any kind of pain, any kind of even threat that there might be a bomb going to land in their country. Yeah, millions of people doing that. But then on the other side of the coin, there are those that are suffering, that are those that are under the roof of an attacking bomb coming in to destroy their country. There are those that are suffering under the beguiles of pedophilia and sick buddy people that want to have sex with children and want to drink their blood and stuff like, I mean, adrenochrome. I mean, it's, to me, it's a whole plethora of sickness. And I can say that suffering and debauchery and all these other things are the bottom of the barrel. You know, like the bottom of the fucking barrel. You got the top of the barrel, people getting what they want, the desires, and at the bottom of the barrel, you got the rotten apple. And I feel like that's a two-sided fucking thing going on here, and one will not exist without the other. You know, the rich create the poverty, the rich create the poor. The wealth system, the money system, is I believe the reason why we have poverty. It's the reason why we have sick people that in the beginning, that, you know, strong. What's the adage goes? That strong people create a better society. A better society create weak people. Weak people create strong people. It's a cycle, and you've got this. And what keeps it going? It's the resources of energy, and the biggest energy in this world today is fucking money. It's the blood of the world, and its energy system. It's the blood of it. If you didn't have money, people wouldn't have desires for certain things because they wouldn't be there in their faces. But lots of people have money, and so they go about inventing stuff or finding out stuff, such as what I've just been finding out about Nicra. Nicra is actually a solution in the makeup of the pearl shell, and it's bloody good for whitening skin. It also helps with lots of body functions. But anyway, do your own research on that. But it comes from pearl shells. There's actually lots of health benefits, and I'd recommend anybody's got problems with heart palpitations, even darkening of the skin under the eyes, freckles, just stuff like that.
What is it called?
Pearl shell, pearl powder.
It's called what?
Pearl powder. It's the powder made from pearls. Yes.
You said pearl powder?
Yeah. Yes. Pearl powder. Now you can get the mother of pearl shell, and you put a few drops of lemon juice. I think you got a horrible background sound, man. I can hardly hear myself think. Fucking hell. I'm going to drop out of here, man. I can't stand that noise. Holy. So let me finish up.
It's only an air conditioner.
Oh, okay, yeah. So bloody hell, man. It's so bloody hell. I couldn't even hear myself think. Yeah, but so pearl is actually a makeup of chemicals from what was it? Calcium carbonate and aragonite. But you can actually get about 4 or 5 drops of lemon juice and squeeze them into a pearl shell, mother of pearl shell, mussel shell, mollusk. Any mollusk shell has the mother of pearl sheen on the inside of it. So that sheen is what they call the mother of pearl. And that can easily be made into a powder by using either vinegar or lemon juice. And it's actually bloody good for you. You can go and do some research on it. You'll find out some interesting stuff. But I'm not talking about medical here. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just talking about stuff I've been researching. And what I find is that the stuff that we don't actually get told about, it's not coming into your feed. unless you go looking for it. Whereas you could be thinking about a new pair of glasses while you're at work, and when you get back to your phone, hello, there's a bloody ad for a new pair of glasses. You know, I feel like the world, this resource schemes thing and all that, they're not out to help you. Even the internet itself, if it's there putting things in your feed that it wants you to buy, puts things in face of your desire, why isn't it putting in things like mother of pearl and skin things that help with your skin, or help with your stomach, or help with your gut, or all these other things? Why do you have to go researching them to find them when you can want a bloody desire for a fucking new pair of glasses or some kind of bloody plastic bloody device that'll give you a better fucking experience on the internet? The bloody advert will be in your feed. But why is it you can't get the advert for pearl powder in your feed? You know, there's got to be some kind of nefarious thing about this bloody internet that desires for you not to have the good things, but to have the things that you spend money on that do you no fucking good at all. You know? That's a big point about me with the internet. I have a strong thing about that there is a difference, that it doesn't display stuff that helps with our experience here. It tends to more give us things that deprave us of health, deprave us of worthwhile experiences, gives us clothing made of fucking plastic fibers, rather than trying to find ways of selling and giving us beneficial fibers like flax and linen made of natural fiber, and fibers that have frequency. Do you know that if you check out the frequency of what's that film they use for making clothing, neoplastics, microns or whatever, but anyway, they have zero frequency, but you have something like flax or cotton or linen or anything like that, natural body fibers. They got frequencies anywhere between 50 to 100, even 500, depending on what it is. But if you got a bloody, like what do you call it? Fabric made out of plastic fibers. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, they got zero frequency. I mean, that and alone should tell you that plastic and all these things that the fucking internet is selling us, has got online for sale, is nothing good. It's not good for the body. You know, if you've got some intelligent force like artificial intelligence, and they can't figure out to send you the goodies compared to the shit, there's something fucking wrong with the thing, right? Something fucking wrong with it. But
yeah, people should look into C8 now. All these stories are coming out. All these products that they've been putting Teflon coating on, like rubber boots, or just all not just rubber boots, but all types of waterproof and Teflon coated material, which is very toxic. I made a video about that like 7 years ago about DuPont DuPont in Ohio, and
Right.
the guy
I
who rented the land,
remember it actually, Chuck. I remember it. Yeah.
that fucking place annihilated his entire farm and him of cancer from the C8 they were dumping. And people that worked there were getting sick, and then they found out through testing through animals that if a woman gets the C8 in her, the children will be born deformed. And there's one case of that happening from a woman that works there. I don't know if there's multiple, but I know there's one where the kid came out a little, but that's wild, man. And these people probably still operate. They said they're going to change the chemical to something less poisonous, which they changed it, but it turned out to be more poisonous, right? And these people get away with this shit because they throw a few $1 million out. It's okay, they throw their worthless money around and just take people's lives. But I think we just blindly do that stuff because most people are poor, and of course they're going to take the money. But I would rather see these people pay for what they've done. And I don't mean with money. I mean, lock them in the fucking cell. That's one by one.
Well, I agree with a certain amount of what would you call it? Waking up. I mean, you might have to smack a man around the face a couple of times to wake him up, right? That usually when somebody is knocked out or faints, and they've momentarily lost their consciousness, a good slap on the face can actually bring them round, right?
Yeah, it can. And I speak from both sides of getting smacked and doing the smacking.
Yeah. I mean, we understand what we're talking about here, but that buddy saying in the Bible's got a saying, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." I don't know. I mean, I think actually old age is where people find out. It's your you can't escape the thoughts in your head. If you've done any kind of bad shit in your life, when you get older, mate, I'm afraid to say it, but you're gonna fucking think about every fucking thing you've done unless you get dementia. And I think they fucking put people in the place of dementia purposely so they don't have to go through the fucking hell of it. I bet you half these bastards that have raped children and pedophiles and that end up with fucking dementia here. They don't have to fucking go through the hell of fucking what your mind can put you through at the end of your life, right? But anyway, I know there's some things I've done in my life that I regret. Regrets, right? No regrets, they say, or no regrets, as that fucking funny tattoo. But you get to elderly age, and if you fucking haven't got any regrets, well, fucking hell, I reckon you must have been Prince Perfect, right? So the older you get, the more your mind fucking starts to fucking reevaluate what you've done. And, people are on, especially young people today, are on about, fucking fuck these old cunts. All they've been doing is fucking dragging the country down. These old bastards, we just get rid of all the fucking old ones and then we can start again. They think, these young ones, that it's not going to happen to them. I tell you, I used to think that I was never going to grow old and I was never going to be like that sort of person. Well, fuck, I've got news for you. All right. Anyway, there's a thing called guilt and shame. And I tell you what, when you get older and you still got your fucking marbles, that's going to fucking happen, whether you like it or not. So I think that they make these things like Alzheimer's disease and dementia for these people so they can fucking hide in it, so they don't have to fucking go through their fucking own hell, right?
Yeah, I think about how the good people, very good people, don't even get to live a full life, but people that send hits
Well, like saying only
and
the good
bomb
go
women
around.
and children and poison our water and our food. They get to live old and they live lavish and shit. They live it up. So
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something that I'm guilty of. I actually, have used a handheld sprayer and sprayed chemical bloody poison all over the bloody weeds. But I mean, I was employed to do so. But I look back at it, and I feel shame about it, Chuck, because I actually sprayed fucking poison on my Mother Earth, and I don't have that kind of notion anymore. I feel sick about that shit. Right? That's my guilt. That's my guilt and my fucking shame that I was a fucking part of that crap. Right? But I mean, fuck, eh? What about the bastards that rape children and that? Oh, fuck it. I'd hate to have their fucking mind when they get old.
yeah, that's another that's crazy shit, man. And trafficking children and all that. That's sick shit, man.
Yeah, well, these people are going to get old, Chuck, and they're going to fucking remember all that shit.
They probably won't. They're so invested in evil.
Well,
They're
yeah,
gonna
I
end
don't
up.
know. I actually think that one day, Roger, it fucking comes back at you, whether you fucking want it or not. Anything we've done in our lives will fucking be reminisced about as we get older. And if people haven't got the mind to remember those things, they're probably fucking already in the state of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. But I haven't got any of that. My brain's still working. I still remember fucking things. I can still remember things that happened when I was a baby in my childhood. I got a fucking good memory. I can remember stuff. And the good and the fucking bad that I've done. And you can't escape it. You
Yeah.
can't escape. You can't escape those memories. They will come to you.
Memories are good and bad. I think about good memories all the time, but then it makes me sad in a way.
Of course, because then you have the bad memories, right? And everything here is about memory. That's all we're done. That's all we've ever been really taught is how to memorize.
We're a walking computer. We upload memories and shit into our hard drive.
Yep.
We're robots.
Well, that's one of my things I talked about in my reply the other day. I said that if yesterday, if our world continues to have the technology like it is, who's to say that every time they have they go underground, they don't come back up and take over from where they left off? Who's to say that they were already making the technological computer with the projection of making robots? I mean, we've got plenty of
No.
evidence in our in the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th century to show that they were gearing towards technology. They
This is
were
what I was
gearing.
thinking about technology. That it's been here a long time, and there's already a cataclysm that happened. But the people that were here already had tech. You know how these people want to escape and float in the air? When there's like, they could go underground too, but maybe that's why people were seeing these so-called fallen angels are just people that were already here. And they were in spaceships just floating above in their planes. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you're talking about the floating experience. I've got to
No,
ask
I'm
this
talking about
question.
flying and technology.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I've got to ask this question. If the tourist field stops, right? If the tourist field stops, and
Yeah,
there
you
is
probably
no,
could leave.
hey,
You probably could leave here. I think they could turn the tourist field off. This whole Mother Earth is a motherboard. This whole place got technology already in it. The ether. The ether is the containment. I think it's everything. The ether is everywhere, right? The energy, the ether.
okay, yeah, I got you. I'm right
They
on.
took ether out of the elemental board too.
Yeah, okay. But the thing is, like, okay, yeah, fully. I mean, we're being duped. But how about this? If the tourist field stopped, right? What starts it again? Who starts it again? And
That's what I
why?
want to know.
And what and who stopped it in the first place?
Those are good questions because it's the same ones that I have. Where is this energy coming from? Inner Earth, the center. Because there's something. That's how the stars are there, through a frequency and vibration, sort of like solar luminescence, maybe.
Fully,
There's,
I undergo.
there's
Yep.
definitely energy, and I don't think. I don't know if I want to call it tapping into it, but
But
there's probably a main computer
though.
somewhere. These people got some main source. There has to be a main source from somewhere,
Hang
right?
on a minute. Why didn't the woolly mammoth go floating off?
What do you mean?
Well,
Floating
if the
off?
tourist field stopped, why didn't he go floating away?
I don't know. Who knows if we would float? Who knows what would happen?
If the
People say
forest
that,
field is
but
stopping and
it's just
things are flying
speculation.
around like a great tornado, and that's what they say, if the fucking thing stopped, well, I don't reckon, if the thing stopped, everything would just float. But is that what causes electromagnetic frequency? Is weight anything in the field? I mean, why didn't the woolly mammoth float? Why doesn't these pyramids, these great megalithic structures, float? What is it that what floats? What floats? Is it only the things that have got electrical charge in them? And I always like to look at it like this, Chuck. how about if you think about, like, remember Independence Day?
Yeah.
And you had
Independence.
and you had everybody running to the center or running to that building. They all were going up. They wanted to get to the top so they could get to that beam coming down, right?
Mm.
What if the same shit's going on at the center of the earth when the Phoenix event happens? What if that's your destruction going right there? Yeah, I mean, I understand there's a lots of people doing stuff on the Vulcan and the Phoenix. There's a few people, not a great deal. Okay, I won't say there's lots. But Jason and but I think it's Jay Dreamers. You know Jay Dreamers, eh?
Yeah, I watch his stuff.
So he says like that everybody is best to
It's
go
gonna
to
float.
Mount Meru in the center of the earth or head there. What if something like Independence Day was to happen instead of what you believe, like you're gonna fucking get taken up into Osiris? You know, I reckon there's something in the vapor canopy, and there might have been giants here because of the vapor canopy and the type of atmosphere that was here. And it's possible that giantism, I mean, we know from the people who have a problem called giantism, that normal people birth from the normal vaginal tract can grow into giant people, right? Through giantism, right? So
Yeah, that could be a different frequency too.
yes, a frequency. There you go. So if the frequency at the time of when the torus field stops and then regrows again, like the starts up again, and the vapor canopy grows giants, maybe it's just a frequency that causes the growth.
What's up, Mind's Eye? What's good?
Salutes, Brody. Much love, y'all.
Hey,
Shout
Mind's
out,
Eye.
Vinny.
How are you?
How's everything been going, bro?
I'm well, thank you.
I heard that. I'm appreciating the conversation. Shout out to you, Charles, too, man. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
Go ahead,
I've got this bloody thing, Mind's Eye, that I feel that Daydreamers and Jason Brashears both are talking about an event. What has been called the Phoenix event. It's been called the Vulcan. There are cultures in the world today, like the Chinese culture, who have this red dragon. So the dragon has been signified as something to do with this event. I have this question as to why do the megalithic structures stay intact and in place if the torus field was to stop? Wouldn't everything float? And if everything floats, why does megalithic structures not float? And why did the woolly mammoth not float? Is it a weight factor?
So, that's interesting you say that about the woolly, right?
Yeah.
Because right? Everything, if you ain't going, say, into the earth, like say things are buried, then you floating too, right?
Yeah.
The concept of us being able to move, right? That's floating.
Unless, and here's another one, unless that mammoth floated up into the sky, actually got formed into an ice block up there and then dropped back down.
Hmm. That is interesting, man. You know, say around the woolly mammoth time, that's when they was all say all animals was reduced to the mouse on the trap. You know, because the tar pits was prevalent. You know, they was everywhere, like sinkholes, black holes, where everything say if you ain't getting pulled in and sunk inside of a black hole, or say the tar pits back in them ancient times, you
Yes.
was floating. Right? You was floating because the whole concept,
Shit. You fall in a tar pit, that would be detrimental, man.
yes, it's gonna literally pull your ass down just like a croc if you was at a lake not paying attention at the bank. Right? It's gonna pull you in. Right? To say where we at on the earth is made to hold us where we are afloat like a boat on the rocks, on the soil, you know, because
Yeah.
you know, the transition from sea to land is the same difference where the land is just a different form of what the sea is, you know. So we are all floating on the top.
Yes. Very
Right?
good. Very
That's
good, mind's eye. Awesome, bro.
like say how you could just stand still and you could see the wind blowing through the hair, right? Say the woolly mammoth had that fur, right? Looked like it was floating, like, you know, like a ribbon in the sky. Or like a bird's feather if it detaches from his wing, you know. So look, you either floating or you Satan. Satan pulls things in like a fish that grabbed a hook that didn't know was baited. Right? The pull
Yeah.
in that's where I was thinking about it. Dean, that's something
Yeah.
you mentioned the woolly mammoth, because I or say more than half or all of them animals in that time, they didn't have what we know is the black stripes and the spots on them. They didn't, the animals that was sinking in the tar pits, they didn't have stripes and spots. If they did, they was totally say overdone with stripes.
Okay, I got you. Okay, now that's interesting. That's interesting there, mind's eye. I got
Yeah,
you.
none of
Yeah.
those animals then, right? They didn't have the black spots, and I think this is where all of them was kind of like reduced to the state of a mouse, right? You know, because we can catch the mouse on the rat trap, right?
Do
The wooden
you
one.
think that the reverse engineering happened in biology as well as technical?
Yes, I think reverse engineer happens with every say culmination of each um damnation, right? Where they talk about apocalypse and all of that.
Yes, yes.
Right, because it's like that's what this earth realm is. It's like the movie theater. Like a lot of people will fall asleep at the movies, right? These are those who die right before this happening happens, like you said, Jay Dreamers is talking about, right? The
Yes.
the big shebang. A lot of people won't be here to witness it because they the form of fall asleep at the movies, they died while we was living. Right. So they ain't
Right.
gonna get to see the concept of Jesus coming back. Jesus came back and got them because right, Jesus like that person with the flashlight at the movies. Wake your ass up and you get out. Right. Jesus came and got them people from this movie theater that we are in. Right. So where it get to the APOC or the apocalypse or the APOC collapsing, this is where everybody who is that has the eyes to see, you gonna see. Like you said, Dean, when you get older, you gon' pay attention to the shit like especially if you have your marbles. If you
You
can
bet you do.
remember things.
You bet you are, mind's eye. It's going to happen whether you like it or not, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You gonna have to deal with that, man. That's
Yeah.
something, man. I'm gonna shut up for a second though. What y'all think?
Yeah, bro, I fully agree. I mean,
I'm
we're
listening.
yeah, bro.
I
You
mean,
know,
Um,
you added to my talk today and made something really positive and genuine out of it. And
reflection.
I'm bloody grateful that you came on board, bro.
Same here, man. It's been a long while since I boarded the ship of the real, you know. So I'm glad to be
Yeah.
here, man.
um,
Hey, oh, I hold up.
I found this book called Paradise Found: The Cradle of the Human Race at the North Pole. But I don't know how trusting this book could be because
You
the
sound,
guy who wrote it is from universities and shit.
you
So
sound interesting.
yeah, I'm looking I'm skimming through it.
Skipping through it like a
Well,
rock on the lake.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
I was watching Jason Brashears yesterday. He had a live about
Who's that?
the sky falling.
Oh man, I missed it.
It's a bloody good one, Mind's Eye. I
I
really
bet it
suggest
was.
going having a look at it, bro.
Y'all know it?
Because I figured it out. It had to be that the woolly mammoth went up into the sky to get frozen. There's no way that it fell from the sky unfrozen. I would say there's got to be different layers in the ionosphere that
Mhm.
that change how different debris come back down.
Okay.
Well, the higher you go, they say the ether is stronger, right? There's more current of energy, right?
Hmm.
More electricity, or whatever you want to call it.
More
It's
ions.
more, yeah, it's more powerful the higher you go. The higher you go, you could get a better charge too of that free energy. That's why they were building towers, but like the Tower of Babel, maybe.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, that altitude, right? Where the mountaintops stay frozen. That's like a form of capsule, right? As above, so below. You know, the
Yeah,
altitude, right? That's an attitude. That's an attitude.
I feel that what I would say there's a lot of pressure in the Earth's confinement. Um, you know, like the firmament over the top, it creates the pressure. I feel that the pressure has pushed down on the Earth so much that now that freezing air that normally is higher up is closer to the Earth, right?
Hmm. And then it's in our speech too, right? Where you say upside down, you saying the upside is down. That's what makes as above, so below viable for me, right?
Yes.
Because reaching
Yeah.
for the sky is reaching into the earth. You know, you can't jump and grab that, right? Whatever's up there like that. You know, let's say if you was hunting, right, you could shoot the quail and pick it up off the ground because that's the upside is down. Right?
Well,
It's like you shooting at a mirror,
it's
like a video game.
interesting that it's interesting, Mind's Eye, that when Jason was on his talk yesterday, he
Mhm.
said, excuse me, he said that there were up to about 7 different places around the world where the people, the local people, the tribal people of that area escaped into a cavern that went underground, right? Now, we know that looking at China, that's a big possibility that China had one. We could say they're Hopi people, the American Indian, they had one. The Aboriginals in Australia, they had one. There, people in Bosnia, right? The island of Bosnia, there was one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could really, if we wanted to, we could search them out and find them. But what I've found is that most of these places now are locked up into national parks, or they've been destroyed altogether. The access to them, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting, man. I find that to be very true. Brought us to say that old story of the cowboys and aliens. They showed it in that King Kong and Godzilla film
Yeah.
where he was supposedly going into the earth or hollow earth. Right. It ain't that say, you know, we was talking about this stuff before they start putting it in the movies like that, wasn't we?
We
Why?
were. Yeah.
Right. And look up a couple years later, they making movies talking about the hollowed earth. You know, so they had showed it
They
and
love
what
doing
was
that.
right. Because the truth is in the movies, man. Right. It ain't that they gotta show you, but they have no choice. Where
Well,
it's the
They
same
love
with
to
me.
do it.
based their
They love
movie
to
on
rub
it.
it in our face.
They based the
Yeah,
movie on it.
or not.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Look,
They
they ain't
love
rubbing
rubbing
it in
it in
your
our
face.
face for sure.
Look, Charles. It's where they
They
gotta show you because they gotta use the very same materials that we gotta use if I want to show you. Right?
Yeah.
It's up to you to pay attention. It ain't that they gotta show you. They don't have no choice. It's like, what am I gonna use outside of this earth to show you what I'm trying to show you, which is my
Exactly,
truth.
man, Josh. Top man,
Right?
top
It's my
man.
truth and not your truth. Where you gotta tell me your truth, right? And how you gonna show me. You gonna do the same thing they doing. You gotta use the world and the materials in it. You gotta use the dialogue, right? The dialogue and everything that they doing is no different from if you was in control of the shit. It's what we are using, right? You can play confused or not get the picture, right? You will see it in the next film because that's what the eyes are for. The eyes are for seeing, you know, and it ain't really shit. It ain't nothing if you didn't get it that first time, but the time that you get it, you gonna get it. You gonna get it, and you gonna see like it ain't really because just imagine if you had that power. Why you would have to do the same shit. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to kill, you're gonna have to make the decisions that's gonna make people mad as fuck at you. So you're gonna have to have puppets where these puppets is gonna be a form of protection for you. Cause if they get to you, right, what they gonna do with it?
You're not gonna get your story out. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like people be wasting their time because if you know that I'm lying, then you know what I'm doing. Right?
Yeah.
Or you wasting your time paying attention to me, right?
Yeah,
Then you
yeah.
gotta go
No,
do what you gotta do.
I love the way you unfold things. You reveal, right?
Respect, bro. Reflection, you know, because that's what it is. Like people don't have the heart yet to admit that they talk to themselves.
I love
Yeah,
talking to myself.
probably. I
That's what
mean,
we
you got
doing
no
right
choice
now.
when you get older, bro. I tell you.
I love talking to myself.
When you get
Man,
older, you
it's so
talk to
many
yourself
levels to
because
it.
there are things that you've done, and I would say the things that you talk to yourself about that you've done, and a lot of people in their elderly years in rest homes
Man.
are probably mumbling about all the bloody things that they're still hurting over, right?
Mm-hmm. I heard y'all mention the you know, the TC or the trafficking thing, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
You know, and say it's a spell that they put. Literally, it happened to us when we was children, but it wasn't say like you take it right, and where you see you can twist it, get the twisting, cause it ain't the one way that they gave you the spell, right?
yeah,
You know where you see a error in it or a split in that matrix, you can get it, you can twist the spell, right? Shout out
yeah. There
to
you
Truth
go.
Is that my
Song,
nigga
man.
Miles up here, man? What's good, my nigga?
Big ups, Brody.
For
Man, we
sure.
posted.
That's good. I've been right out here running around getting these windows clean, man. I've been on,
I was
I've been,
listening to y'all
huh?
earlier. I was
Yeah,
listening
earlier I
to
went
y'all
live
earlier.
earlier, man. Charles pulled up.
Good,
Shout out
Truth
to you,
Song.
Yeah,
Charles.
yep. We tapped in real quick, man. Much love, y'all.
For sure, my nigga. On mute up.
Hey, this what I was saying, right? The spell, right? The spell is say what everybody got put under, right? But you can take that and you can twist it because it's a lot going on within the words that you speak, you know. And that's like say people are, if you ain't did that with the spell, then you still that child you was when you got the spell, you know.
Oh, where's Truth Zone? He's gone. He dropped out.
Yeah, man, it's like say that spell grew a lot of people up where they grew you up
He
because you
dropped.
ain't.
My bad. I was gonna say he dropped out like he was in high school.
Hey, that's how it be, right? Say people say the spell grew a lot of people up because people understand it how they understand it, and they matured with that spell, right? Even if they was immature, you know.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, so where a lot of people claiming that they grown, that's the sound that a tree make before it break, right?
Yeah,
The
it
tall tree that just
grown.
creaking
Yeah,
in the wood, right?
yeah.
The wind's blowing it, it's swaying, right? People can't hear it cracking, right? It's look, this is age oak, which is age oak, right? The old tree where it's cracking jokes all of the time. And if you ain't paying attention, right, it'll fall on you, right? The joke on you now. Yeah,
True.
like people think I
True.
just be talking, but you ain't grown. You under a spell, and you think you grown. You still a child, right?
Fully.
And that's look, like I said, still a child trafficking, where you playing in the street with people who know what they doing, opposed to those who don't.
Yeah.
Until
And you
you
will get
die.
ran over out here, little
When
boy.
you die, it's like a graduation. I
Yeah.
think when you die, it's like a sign it's time for you to move on to the next.
Mm-hmm. And it's a sorry. It's a sorry too, because it happens to
Yeah.
things or people, yeah, people and things that can't defend themselves untimely, you know.
Mm.
But you can be born today and literally die tomorrow. You still did live a full life. Cause who living a full life and who not, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At what age do you officially got to get to say you lived a full, right?
But you know that saying, "Only the good die young." The less you experience, the less you can account for. Right.
Uh, mm-hmm. And that is true. That's a sign, I think, you know, Charles, to the mental illness, right? Because a lot of people, we can't die. That's the whole thing. It's an illusion.
Well, that's it. It is an illusion because I mean, the flesh might disintegrate, break down. But the being that the reason for that being that came here in the beginning and became flesh. It became flesh so that it could experience. Once the experience has taken place, then it can relinquish that flesh and carry that experience, right?
Them pictures is fire, man. That first one just looked like a tree. Like I saying, the age oak. Right.
Well, the tree of knowledge to me is pretty much the same thing, you know.
Word. Look at that. That's
Don't the brain with the stem, which is the spine, it's like the sperm with the tail, because it is.
Yeah, that's what you is. That little snake with the lead head. Yeah, that's a form of like micro and macro, right?
Yeah.
Cause look, we still microbial beings where we are tiny.
I think we're in a physical womb until we were birthed to the next stage, which we're probably getting ready for the spiritual experience. Like without like a snake shedding its skin, we're gonna shed this body.
I can agree with that. Look, go back to that pit or this one, cool. That's what the world is like. Just like the brain got the two halves, right? Say us in the middle, and then where they say it's tilted, where it's tilted at the axis or whatnot, right? That's where we are in there. It's just like hinging your head up and drinking water. Look at that body, bro. Look at that. I was just thinking, like, hey, have you ever heard this, or has anybody ever told you this? Right? Say the bodies that every individual is born in, that's what hell is. Where you breathe, you inhale. Like say the body is what hell is. If you ain't never saw hell, just go look at somebody.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point, mind toy. Yeah.
Yeah, they
So,
right at their front door of hell, because people are right. Say they own bouncer to the hell that's them.
yep, and I mean, how many people's ego? How many people's ego bounces them? They bounce themselves out to make themselves look better, while they're projecting on the other to place them in hell, right?
Expensive, huh?
Great light.
Shout out to you. That way is that way. Yep, I see you.
Great light, man.
Great light, man. Lucid dream.
Appreciate
Charles
you,
be
man.
having some pictures, man. Appreciate you, man. Charles be having some pictures, man.
I can't actually see. Son of Why I can see.
But they saying that the sky's your mind, though?
The sky's your mind. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, with the gold and silver in the mind.
Which is the money, right? I remember.
Which is the money. Yeah. So when they demonize you, they remove your money, your mind. The sun and the moon.
Yep, male and female, the duality.
Or
there's
wholeness.
Different factions. You got the Masons that represent the duality. They love to worship that, and then you got the other Masons that worship the Trinity. Then you got that's why you got the bident and the trident.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only you. It's only you that's witnessing it.
Hey,
Everyone,
man. You see that bottom picture right there, the red and black one?
Yeah.
That's Azazel.
Azazel. That's an angel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the devil.
Yeah. That's his blood.
With the pitchfork.
It's an opposite one that's that of Yahweh. I remember showing that.
How they worship the devil, which is the duality.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone left themselves out. So when they look at it, they say, you see the two? The two is the two. But you're the only one see the two. They left themselves out.
Okay, let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, so when they look at stuff, the duality means bathroom, one is bathroom. They forgot that they were the one to see the duality, so it's only one. They teach you to leave yourself out.
Yeah, you cross-eyed it.
Yeah, they call it the fourth wall. Yeah. The fourth wall. And they call it the fourth wall, right? So it's only one, the only one that witnessed. It's holy or whole. W-H-O-L-E, holy.
So could the biting of the tree be? It's all tied to the eating.
Yeah.
Like say the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, man eating man.
Like what
man
you think? Like, how much of the food has a part in this? Yeah. Oh.
If we look at things, we consume it.
Yeah, yeah. Knowledge is power. That's true. Reading, fundamental. Yeah.
When we fundamental, like you being funded through education. So when you got the idea, or we or I, from another, I was eating their mind.
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear it. Could y'all hear?
Like people eating the minds of others. Like when you go to school,
okay,
you get educated, and you consume the mind of another, which is man on man. Like gay.
No. I mean, damn, man. Men talk to women too, so right. It's narrow it down. Break it even, man. Don't do
I
that.
get it. Female got a man, which is a mind. Man is man, woman, and child. So woman is flesh to me. Woman is flesh, which is earth. Man is mind, which is the heavens, the sky. So when we eat other men's knowledge, we eat the man like cannibalism.
Right, like food, because knowledge is right.
Yeah,
it's power.
So they fill your vessel with their thoughts.
Yeah, that's how they live forever too, through books and sound and music.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cum swallowing.
Man, stop it, bro.
But I'm not being nasty though. But it's all in your face. Like it's. All right, now. All right, forgive me, man. I think you have to be able to. All right.
It's been a long time,
And
man.
he just showed the brain. I mean, an image of the brain, bro. It looked like a phallus, bro. You got a pineal gland. They say they call it a pea head.
This is what I was just saying, right? The spell that a lot of people think they grown with, right? Or it grows you up, yet you know how to use the spell, and if you determine
Say that again, brother.
your discernment, right? I don't know, like
I think
this
the man said,
is about the meal. This is about right, because what you say, people can't literally eat where they can think about it.
but the world telling you though. You know, when you go and buy products, they call you a consumer. So when you buy a movie ticket, you consuming the movie without
Yes,
touching.
we know this. Everything is intake, right? But like say we don't want to intake things that's gonna have us regurgitating or like like say we know
Vomiting.
what you
That's
saying,
what I'm
right?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
We've
but
been
you gotta watch. Look, you should watch your mouth.
Can I interrupt you
That's
guys
what.
for a moment? I've
But
got to
everyone
get
telling
out
themselves
of here, Chuck. I got to get out of here. I got a mate turning up in half an
Yeah, I'm
hour.
gonna jump off too in like 10,
So,
15 minutes myself. I
so
gotta
I'm
go
just
do some
letting
stuff.
everyone know I'm actually got to drop down, get myself prepared because there's a person turning up shortly.
Okay,
All
much
right,
love
Dean.
to you,
It's good to
Dean.
see you, bro.
Yeah,
all
good
right,
to
bro.
talk to you all too. Son of Yahweh, Mind's Eye, Chuck, and all the beautiful people in chat. You take care now. One love and peace
Peace,
to
Dean.
everyone.
One love, man.
I'm just so
Look at
drunk on
this.
this talking, man.
I've never seen. I could be wrong. I had a friend that was Jewish. Well, he kind of wasn't a friend, but he was in my classes in middle school, and his name was Ben Schwartz. I'll never forget it. Or Schwartz, which is Jewish. So maybe I never seen a darker person with the last name Schwartz. Could be
Swarty.
wrong though. Could be
Swarty means
wrong.
black.
It means what?
Black.
No.
Yeah, it does. Swarty means black. It does.
Huh.
I'm telling it to
That
you
would
right
make
there. Though. Like they.
Schwartz.
Yeah, that's an old fake name right there. That's a document you got up there.
That's interesting.
Is that like a document or something? Like this where you get those concepts of,
It looks like
later
it
on
came
to
from a
become an
book.
Indian.
I want to hear what Mind's Eye was saying though. Earlier.
Yeah, I gotta jump off in like 15 minutes. So,
right.
28. All right. Go ahead, Mind's Eye.
No doubt. I don't know. What was I saying?
I don't know. I'm
I was
stoned.
talking about
I'm
swallowing seeds like sesame seeds or sunflower
no.
seeds.
No, man.
Seeds.
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay, people plant seeds, right? People dropping gems. Some may call it a seed. And if you comprehend it, then you swallowed it, right? You ate it. To manifest something, it must be sex, period, right? All life comes through what they call sex. They made our mind nasty, man. So when somebody try to tell you, you ain't gonna want
This
to
whole
hear it.
world's gay as fuck. When you're in your 50s, they want to stick their fingers in your ass. And then when you go to jail or prison, they want you to spread your cheeks and lift your balls. That's wild, yo. When you're in your 50s, they want to stick their finger in your ass. That's crazy, bro.
So us is not English that went to English schools. We ate the seed.
English. What's it?
They planted in our mind, right? Which is the soil called the flesh. They planted. They call it grading, right? You go to a grade, first grade, second grade. So when you grade the earth, you're preparing it for planting. When you go to the next grade, you being prepared for planting.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about grades, but I'll talk about that tomorrow.
So they take the hoe.
I was watching this autodidactic, and they were making some very good points on these graveyards.
They take a hoe and scrape the green with it, right?
All right, man. I'm about to get up out of here. Wow.
Yeah, I'm about to jump off too. Fuck it. I didn't even look at the chat.
Much love to the chat.
Much love.
All right, it's good to see you, Mind's Eye, man. Come through more often.
Yeah, you
Reflect.
You're not
man.
busy.
Yep. Right back at you, man. Much love to you, Yahweh.
Much love to you.
Peace, Mind's Eye. Peace, Yahweh. Peace to the chat. Peace to the whole fucking world.
I'm gonna fuck up because I don't play right.
And oh shit, peace, Salama.
Don't let me stick it in, please.
Damn. Peace to Mission. Mark, Mr. Super Sidewinder, Tommy Rogers. Peace to everybody. I'm out. Boop.